Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're tackling something that is genuinely a Herculean task.
Oh, for sure.
We're looking at creating a single, cohesive mathematical framework for a setting where, a street-level detective might share a scene with someone who could rearrange solar systems.
Yeah.
The source material is the rule system for a game called Power Scale, and our mission is really to figure out how they managed to avoid total mathematical collapse.
It's less a rule book and more, as the text itself puts it, an accountability grimoire.
I love that phrase.
The genius here isn't just the math, though. It's the philosophy that's underpinning it. They're solving a universal problem.
Yeah.
How do you quantify a cosmic feat without turning the game into a spreadsheet fight that just kills all the momentum?
Right, and they frame it as a matter of civilization. It's fascinating. They draw this line between mere boasting and true power.
Exactly.
If your villain says, I blot out the sun, the rules demand that they stop, roll up their sleeves, and, show their work.
Power, by definition in this system, requires articulated parameters. That's the core thesis.
So what holds it all together?
The spine holding that entire structure together is a single, beautifully simple exponential tool. The magnitude rank, or MR table.
The MR table. Okay, so that's the universal constant.
It is.
You have this one logarithmic scale that defines every quantifiable measurement in the game.
Everything. We're talking distance, mass, times, speed. It's all tied to the same rank.
So whether you're measuring, the centimeters of a grappling hook?
Or the light years of a galaxy-spanning portal. Yep. Both numbers map back to the same scale. This is the single tool that allows all power levels, from the mundane to the godlike, to interact using the same set of numbers.
Okay, so if that's the universal ruler, how do our heroes actually pay for these universe-shattering abilities? I mean, how do you calculate the economy of a sun god?
They use power points, or PP, and the economy is remarkably straightforward. Your total budget is just 5 times your character level. That's it. That's your total currency for buying every ability, defense, and power stunt you possess.
And the cost structure seems pretty logical. Your standard effects, like a punch that does damage or a move object ability, that costs a flat 1 PP per rank.
A clean transaction. You want your basic blast to be rank 10. That's 10 PP. Simple.
But the system punishes you for being a jack of all trades, doesn't it?
It does. That's where we see the first big strategic choice. If you want variable powers, a flexible pool that lets you manifest fire, then ice, then lightning, all with the same currency.
The versatile stuff.
That versatility costs double. It's 2 PP per rank.
Wait, double. Is that their way of saying that true flexibility is, inherently destabilizing to the game?
It seems to be. I mean, think about it. If you allow a player to spend one budget on 20 different possible effects, that drastically reduces the prep work for the GM. So by doubling the cost, they make versatility a really expensive strategic investment. It enforces limits, even on the most wildly imaginative players. You get flexibility, but you pay a premium for it.
So before we get to the dramatic mechanics, we should probably touch on the building blocks. Characters start by picking an archetype, right? The Paragon, the Channeler.
The Trickster, yeah. The archetype frames your role, but mechanically you choose 2 defense proficiencies: Fortitude, Reflex, or Will.
Your standard saving throws against physical stuff, quick attacks, or mental influence.
Exactly. And the core gameplay loop is still going to be familiar to anyone who's ever played a D20 system. You roll a 20-sided die against a target difficulty class, or DC.
And the DC calculation is standard D20 fare base number plus your character's ability and skill bonuses.
Yes, which ensures that even though the numbers involved might be astronomical, like calculating the magnitude rank of a collapsing star, the actual resolution mechanic is always just a simple die roll.
Okay, so this is where the human element, the drama, comes in. Because even if you have the most perfect math, sometimes you just need to be more heroic than your stats suggest.
And that's the domain of hero points, or HPE. The system calls these the heartbeat of the game's drama.
Narrative permission to be legendary, I love that.
It's perfect, isn't it? They are your permission to be truly legendary in a scene.
You start a session with a few, maybe 3, and they are the essential resource for those cinematic moments.
Right. You spend them to seize an extra action or to re-roll a crucial D20 check.
Or my favorite, performing a power stunt. Improvising a new power or a new use of an old one on the fly.
That's your comic book aha moment.
The one that wasn't on your character sheet.
And this is tied back to the narrative so brilliantly because you earn hero points by leaning into your complications.
So your personal flaws, your tragic backstories, your duties.
All those narrative sacrifices. The game demands you accept vulnerability and drama to gain the resources you need to be legendary. It links mechanical reward directly to narrative risk.
But every action has a reaction. If HP is the narrative boost, what happens when you push too hard?
That's fatigue. It's the mechanical consequence of what the players call Nova spam.
Nova spam.
Just blasting high-power effects turn after turn. It's the toll your body or mind pays for that sustained epic output.
And the effects are immediate and painful. Fatigue 1 gives you disadvantage on your checks.
Which, for anyone less familiar, means you roll two 20-sided dice and have to take the lower, worst result. It's a major penalty.
And Fatigue 2 is catastrophic.
You're just incapacitated, down until you get a substantial rest.
But the tension is built right back in because you can spend a hero point to instantly shrug off a level of fatigue.
There it is, the risk-reward.
So, do you use that valuable HP to pull off a scene-ending power stunt, knowing it might leave you susceptible to getting knocked out, or do you save it as an emergency brake?
It's a great mechanical cycle.
Yeah.
And that tension works perfectly right up until the moment where the power differential is so vast that no amount of D20 rolling matters anymore.
Yes, when the numbers just stop making sense. This is where the rules hit the concept of base scale, or delta scale.
The difference in magnitude rank between two opposing forces.
So if the base scale is 2 or greater, let's say a small tank firing on a deity who laughs off continental plate shifts.
The system acknowledges that individual hit point tracking is just absurd at that point.
Yeah.
You stop fighting turn by turn.
And you shift into, what is it, set piece resolution.
Exactly. You're no longer rolling to hit, you're rolling to define the scene. And the scale of Cataclysm is clearly mapped to that score.
A scale of 2 means overwhelming force. The target is instantly destroyed or disabled. The tank is pulverized. The hero is KO'd by a shockwave.
And it gets visceral fast. A scale of 4 is a regional or planetary cataclysm. That's a continent scoured or a planet shattered. The rules allow it to happen, but they demand you show exactly how you reach that rank on the MMR table.
And scale 5 and above.
That's pure cosmic transformation. Stars are reborn, galaxies are rewritten. The rules ensure the game can handle literal omnipotence.
But what's crucial is that even against these colossal threats, hero points still matter.
They do. The system lets you spend HP during a set-piece resolution to ignore a critical complication or add segments of progress to the resolution clock.
So it's the system's way of ensuring that dramatic momentum allows the smaller hero to contribute, or at least survive, a scene dominated by a scale 3 or higher threat.
It's the ultimate validation of the narrative power of the complication. You accepted your flaw, you earned your point, and now you can spend it to influence the outcome of a universal physics equation.
Okay, let's pivot to the toolkit itself. Looking at the powers section is where you see the true genius of the MR scaling, because the same math governs everything from minor force fields to altering reality.
You see the enormous costs for manipulating fundamental forces. Take black hole manipulation. That's a massive 5 power points per magnitude rank.
Wow.
It scales from generating a coin-sized gravity well, which is a fun party trick, to a true relativistic collapse that could threaten a planet at high MNR. The cost perfectly reflects the danger.
And then there's the ultimate power, universal manipulation, clocking in at 6 pp per MR.
The big one.
This isn't just controlling light or gravity. This is control over the fundamental constants of physics, the gravitational constant, the fine structure constant.
The rules state this power literally allows a hero to rewrite physical laws or shift electromagnetic ratios. It's the highest cost in the game, and for good reason, you are defining reality.
But the real aha moments for me are in how standard powers scale, like creation matter from nothing at 3 pp per MNR.
The created volume scales cubically. Now, for the layperson, that means you don't just gain a little bit of mass per rank. A small increase in your power rank translates into a massive difference in volume.
So at MR10?
The ability is termed a genesis event. That character is forming entire landscapes, building orbital constructs, creating elements from vacuum energy. The cost is high, but the payoff is, quite literally, world building.
And kinetic manipulation is similar. The manipulable energy increases by a factor of 10 for every magnitude rank.
Right, so at MR8, you're controlling 1 gigajoule of energy.
Which is enough to halt incoming missiles or launch catastrophic kinetic blasts.
And the system smoothly transitions that same power from deflecting a single bullet all the way up to controlling city-level momentum.
So you can see how the archetypes are designed to either capitalize on or manage these extreme costs. The Esper, for instance, is the ultimate wildcard.
They have a very lean core of powers. They have to rely heavily on the hero point system for those spontaneous power stunts, making their limited PP investment stretch into temporary marvels.
But their entire flaw is tied back to the fatigue system, isn't it?
Precisely. They are constantly flirting with knockout because successive power stunts can generate rapid fatigue levels. They're forced to burn their remaining hero points just to stay in the fight.
A high-risk, high-reward character.
The definition of one.
Then you've got the hybrid, the blaster engineer, who uses a fascinating dual-channel economy, innate powers versus devices.
And the system rewards their reliance on tech by making devices cheaper. They only cost 3/4 of the normal PP.
But the punishment for overreaching is that double fatigue risk.
If they overdrive both their innate abilities and their technological devices at the same time, they face the risk of double the mechanical toll. It's a beautiful feedback loop. It ties their engineering risks directly to the physical consequences.
What stands out, looking back at all this, is just the level of rigor they imposed on chaos. They took the wild, sprawling scope of comic book power and disciplined it.
With a single, unified mathematical table, it reinforces that core philosophy.
Yeah.
The strength of this system is that it defines and quantifies heroism. It provides the columns and cross-references needed to stop the game from collapsing into arbitrary decisions once characters hit that cosmic scale.
It proves that civilization, even in a superhero setting, means accountability.
It does.
Which brings us to the ultimate question this system poses, and it's kind of tucked away in the details of the isekai archetype.
The reality hacker.
This is the hero who uses abilities like fourth wall breaks and scene edits.
The one character that seems designed to break this beautiful mathematical framework we've been talking about.
Exactly. Their capstone feature is authorial voice. This ability lets them declare a rewrite reality action and permanently alter one rule of the campaign's physics. So if the entire foundation of the game, the core of its civilization, is built on the rigorous, fixed mathematics of the MR table and PP costs, what happens when a character gains the ultimate authority and can simply negotiate the parameters of the system itself? That's the kind of philosophical rabbit hole this deep dive leaves you to explore.